We are at Lenwich, and let me tell you, the way I have been ready for this Lenwich since the start of our trip more than 1 week ago, it's finally happening. It's finally happening. You can see the steam coming off of Aeron's Lenwich over there. Gorgeous. New York does sandwiches correctly. This is a chicken parmigiana. We've got a chicken cutlet, which is every bit as delicious as it sounds. We got sauce, we got cheese, we got lettuce, we got tomato, we have toasted bread. This is a lot of sandwich.
Some kind of organisation / demonstration happening over there.
It's a union, I think, outside the MIT.
Yeah, and there was some sort of, like, the tech team, I think, were on strike, is what we heard.
Yeah,
because
I think so, to do with the games.
It impacted the election coverage. Oh, because of the games? Because of Wordle?
It was games, but I don't know which ones.
Oh. That is the New York Times. There you go, that is the New York Times building. It's very tall, as are many of the buildings here in Manhattan.
Also, oh my god, hey, tiny people, in my camera. It is me, MickeyJoTheatre.
And me, Aeron James.
Hello, we are back on the streets of Manhattan with the next installment of our travel vlog series. We are here in New York for 2.5 weeks, seeing as many Broadway and Off-Broadway plays, musicals, etc. as we can. You are now going the wrong way. We're going to Posh Pop Bake Shop because we just had some excellent sandwiches from Lenwich, and now we're getting Aeron a sweet treat.
This is Posh Pop's new Midtown Manhattan location. It would be really handy if I could tell you what street I was actually on, wouldn't it? That would be helpful. It's across from Drum Bookshop, down from Port Authority. What am I in, like 38th? Maybe, perhaps. I'm in the Garment District. Aeron's getting some gluten-free sweet treats. That's all the information I have for you at this time.
Now I assume you may have already seen parts 1 through 3, question mark? Parts 1 and 2? Maybe this is part 3 of this vlog series. But we have seen many plays and musicals already, and I say Broadway and Off-Broadway because we've been to a lot of Off-Broadway shows on this trip. We have done 2 shows at New World Stages, we have done the West Side Theatre for Little Shop of Horrors, we have done the Orpheum Theatre downtown, and this afternoon we're doing something quite interesting and altogether different. We are going to a new musical workshop presentation from the composer Ryan Scott Oliver. I only found out about this because my friend Kate is a big fan of their work and is going to a different showing this afternoon. Went to the midday one. We're going at 3 p.m. and I know very little of what to expect, but I'm excited. It's got a lovely cast, but I'm intrigued to hear brand new contemporary musical theatre in New York and go see a workshop. How cool is that? If you don't know, a workshop presentation, it's, it may be like slightly staged, but it's likely just going to be some kind of a reading where they're just performing the material and actors have been rehearsed to do that, and it's for the benefit of the industry. It's just like a showcase of the work to potentially invested producers, etc., theatre makers, creatives, etc. Beforehand, we're going to get some sweet treats, I think. Where am I going to go for cookies? We're too low down for schmackeries, and I've had a lot of schmackeries, and the more schmackeries will be had as well, because it's, what day is it today? It's Friday today. No, it's not. It's, oh my gosh, it's Thursday today, and we are flying back on a Friday, but not tomorrow. So we're still here for a decent stretch of time. So everything we haven't yet done, we will have plenty of opportunity to do. Here's Aeron and his funfetti cookie. Funfetti being a concept I only ever encounter in America, but he's had it warmed up.
It's basically sprinkles.
It is basically sprinkles. We went to a bagel place, and one of the cream cheese spreads they had available had sprinkles in it, and that I thought was like, have we gone too far as a society? Aeron enjoying his cookie. I keep seeing, do you know what I keep getting from Posh Pop is the s'mores ones, and I'm not a big s'mores person. I'm not a s'mores fan, but they look really good. Also, we're on 39th, like the steps. 39th. That is where you'll find the Midtown Manhattan location of Posh Pop Bake Shop and the Drama Bookshop. Just one street over, to the right-hand side of 8th Avenue, the Drama Bookshop. Home to play scripts and its own range of merchandise, and the Playbill magazine, all sorts of theatrical adjacent books, librettos, biographies, many things. All of the dramatic books that you would expect at the Drama Bookshop. So just under an hour until the workshop presentation. We've headed up towards Bryant Park because it's nearby. Last time we were here was for Broadway in Bryant Park. In fact, that's the only time I've ever been to Bryant Park, which over a few Thursday afternoons, question mark?
Yeah.
in the summer is a handful of Broadway shows giving free performances, not unlike West End Live in the UK. But it seems, in the time we've been away, Bryant Park has transformed into something of a winter wonderland with free ice skating and various festive establishments. Only it's ungodly warm today. We're mid-20s Celsius for the British people. Yeah, I can't see the park. Let me show you what I'm seeing from my face. There used to be grass here somewhere, but it is a winter wonderland. This is different. Anyway, what I was going to say was it is early November and it's almost too warm for me to be wearing this jacket. There's a winter wonderland here as people sweat walking around it. Fresh cider donuts, hot cider, gingerbread boys and girls. Down with the gingerbread binary, I say. Got some Joe coffee. And with that family name, what other line of work could you possibly go into? In fairness, this may have been here before and I may have just not noticed it. I mean, this is very sweet. I was kind of had in my head that we could come here. We have heavy bags for a reason I will explain momentarily, but I kind of had in my head that we could come here and have a nice sit down in the park and enjoy a rare bit of Manhattan greenery, which is hard to find. That is not what Bryant Park had planned for us today. It's very nice. You can reserve your own cozy igloo experience, so you can enjoy shelter from the sweltering heat, actually, is what's currently going on. Oh, people are ice skating. That is fun. Rockefeller Plaza. Look at this. More New York, Midtown Manhattan ice skating options for you. And once again, a plea for them to make those little snowmans and penguins in adult size. Actually, the snowmans are a little bit... Are they taller, or am I making that up? I feel like I could benefit from one of those. There you go. Not the tallest Christmas tree you'll see in Manhattan, but the first one... I mean, there was a tree at Radio City Music Hall, but not like a fully decked out green Douglas fir Christmas tree situation, which this absolutely is. I don't know if it's too early in your world to be seeing it. It's too early for me to be seeing it with my human eyes, honestly. I feel like the people of Manhattan may need a little Christmas right now, to quote Jerry Herman and Mame. So, you know, respects to that. There's this collection of hot chocolate and sweet treats and coffees and artisanal sausages, their words, not mine, and a bar called The Lodge. Has anyone else seen, I think it was the first season of the Goes Wrong show from the MickeyJoTheatre, Play That Goes Wrong, comedy about a bank robbery, etc. People, there was an episode called The Lodge. It was like a murder mystery, spooky thing, and all I can hear when I see those words is Henry Lewis saying, The Lodge. I'm getting more into this now. I've realised that I can't bring my weather preconceptions to the idea of festivity. And other places in the world, you know, do things, and bow buns, do things in a different way. So I'm trying to get into Christmas in early November and feel festive. We are seeing Elf in the coming days, actually. That might be the start of the next part of this vlog series, or it might be the culmination of this one. Tonight begins I think it's the first of the sort of the batch of the new musicals all opening on Broadway around the same time. You have Tammy Faye, you have Death Becomes Her, you have Maybe Happy Ending, but the first one that we're seeing tonight, this evening, Swept Away at the Longacre Theatre, which I know very little about. It's a one act, I know that much. That's our Broadway show of the evening on this Thursday. Just walking around this little shopping village, trying to figure out, I'm sure Bryant Park always had a water fountain somewhere, but it's a lot harder to find its original things. This right here, my Strange Loop water bottle. This is my side quest while I'm seeing all of the theatre, is to also try and stay better hydrated. I say this and I do this because New York holidays, New York trips, theatre-going trips can get very expensive. Just buying drinks, buying food in New York, it's an expensive place to be for all sorts of little things. So, I always used to end up buying drinks just because I was thirsty. I'm like, hydrate of my own accord. And Broadway theatres are great for this. They have
like bottle filling stations, water fountains, usually in the basement or like near to the restrooms of almost all. Wow, puppets! A lot of puppets. They'd love Tammy Faye. Yeah, Broadway theatres have places to fill up water bottles. So, been trying to focus on that, and I assume Bryant Park does. If I could only find them. So close, and yet so far. They make necklaces. You know the Broadway musical Water for Elephants, based on the film of the same name, currently playing at the Imperial Theatre. Saw it on Monday of this week. Had a lovely time. This is the immersive promenade, low-budget version. Water for YouTubers. Well, I hope you haven't become emotionally invested in this extended bit, because I don't think it's going to get satisfied. Honestly, I do not think I'm going to find water in Bryant Park today. This is how they get you. They want me to get an alpine beverage. I'm not doing it. Do you know what's hilarious? We've just come back here to get Aeron a coffee before we head over to the workshop presentation. But maybe if I hadn't been so busy making a stupid joke about the name of this little coffee kiosk, I would have seen that behind it... Hold on. Water fountain. Also, this is completely unrelated and something you'll probably already know about by the time you're seeing this vlog after the fact. But while standing here, I just got invited to a screening of the Wicked movie in London, and now I believe in Christmas again. Thank you, Christmas Jesus! Which is in fact just Jesus, actually. And some 2 hours and a bit later, because it is post-daylight savings time now in the US, darkness has fallen. Oh, it's a bit sunsetty actually, if you look out over the Hudson. That's nice. But we are on our way to a hotel. Yeah. Yes, you heard me correctly. We are checking into a hotel for the evening. That's why we have the giant backpacks. Yeah. Because we're spending a few days having a vacation within our vacation. For the duration of our trip, we've been staying with a friend in Brooklyn, which is not on the Isle of Manhattan if you don't know your New York geography. Neither did I until arrival. But we are spending a couple of nights at Margaritaville in New York, one of two Manhattan hotels we've stayed in before. On our first trip we stayed at the Civilian, and then we won a one-night stay at Margaritaville.
One night stay, that's how we ended up staying there the third time.
Yeah, because of fundraising, charity fundraising with Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS when we did a charity fun run, and you glorious people helped me to raise more than $10,000 for that fantastic organisation. But a one-night stay in a hotel is a lovely thing, and I was very grateful for it. But you don't get to see it because you check in, we went to see a show, and then so we came back to sleep, and then we left. So now it's a two-night stay, and we're going to go back and experience more of Margaritaville, which is exciting. I'm not really familiar with the lore of Margaritaville and the song and everything, but it is, if you are, the hotel is much as you would expect. It is beachy, there are margaritas aplenty, and we're going to go show it to you right now. Before we do though, just to make sure I don't forget about it, let me tell you a little about the musical that we just saw, which was nice. It reminded me a bit of a musical I'd seen at the Edinburgh Fringe called Islander. Touched on some similar themes. It was also a little bit Lord of the Flies, like a adolescent community, like a group of young people left on a dying island as a metaphor for community and for society, sort of devolving into chaos and resentment and judgment and accusation and all of those things that always happen, but fantastic music. Yeah. My goodness, really great, really stirring, and not what I was expecting either. You know Ryan Scott Oliver better than I.
It was, but it was very late into it. I was like, yep, this is Ryan Scott Oliver. Eerie
and like a little bit insidious, storytelling, fantastical, those kind of vibes. But not what I was associated with, like the contemporary musical theatre sound that we hear a little relentlessly.
It's kind of quite similar to like how Aeneas Mitchell writes for Aeneas.
Oh, I hear that. Yeah, very Aeneas Mitchell-esque. Yeah, so those kind of vibes. But it was dark. It described itself as a horror musical.
Yeah, folk horror musical.
Folk horror music, yeah, which is a subgenre I have a lot of time for.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoyed very much. Fantastic performances. I remain convinced that Liam Pearce is one of Broadway's brightest rising stars,
Yeah,
who we saw in How to Dance in Ohio.
agreed. Yeah, and it's Romeo and Juliet.
Has just recently taken over as Romeo in Anne Juliet. Yeah, and Philippe, who we saw in Anne Juliet last time, was also in this workshop. Was also fantastic. I mean, they were all great.
Julia Murney.
Got to see Julia Murney doing a little bit. Yeah, that was a great time. Thrilled to get to see it. Very excited to watch its ongoing future development, dare I say. And here it is on 40th and 7th Avenue. Yes, 40th Street and 7th Avenue. You will find Margaritaville amidst traffic noise, and it is so centrally located. We have been schlepping in from Brooklyn, which takes about 40 minutes every day for the last week and a bit, but I'm very excited to be this close to the Midtown Manhattan Theatre District. The lowest theatre on Broadway is the Nederlander, which is very nearby, not currently got a show on, but we're going to be much closer to all of those Broadway theatres, being right here, literally in Times Square. There you go, at Margaritaville. They have their own restaurant, they have cocktails, they have many a thing. We're going to go and explore and see, I dare say, more of it than we did last time. But come with us to Margaritaville. Made it to our floor, made it to our room. I'm going to spin you around and show you the view from my face. This is our room. There you go. This is the bathroom. It's very teal. Aeron James does not come with the room. He arrived with me. There you go. And this is... Look how big that bed is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Got a nice little screen there. It's large. We have 2 keys. We have drawers. We didn't bring that many clothes with us, but that's fine. We have artwork. We have a view. Okay, let's open this up. Let's have the full reveal here. Wow, wow, wow. Views like this from really tall hotel rooms will never cease to amaze me. We're looking down onto... Is that Lenwich? Is this the street we were on earlier? I think we are south-facing down Manhattan. Other tall buildings around.
Right there.
Is that the... Oh, I think that is the edge.
Yeah.
That one...
Yeah, it would be if we're facing down.
Just up there. That would make sense, over Hudson Yards that way. I can see into lots of offices. Yeah, so that's sort of like the Times Square area to our left. You can see all the people flooding the streets like tiny ants. You heard how loud it was on the street when I was introducing you to the concept of the Margaritaville Hotel. Listen to how loud it is in this room. Nothing. Very noise cancelling. I guarantee you all of these taxis I can see are all beeping each other. Look, that car just cut up that taxi. Dangerous driving is happening down there, but I can't hear any of it. And people told us when we first came to New York, don't stay in Times Square because it's so loud. I'm here to tell you, Margaritaville Hotel, you can't hear any of that, but what you do get is the proximity. We are so close, but we still feel quiet and secluded. Lovely. Perfect. Because I was slightly concerned, but we've been here before. We were here before back in October of last year, I guess almost a year ago, and now we are back in Margaritaville. Yay! As you can see from all of the art and just the general vibes and the aesthetic, it is very beachy, it is very resort themed, which we're very happy about because it does make it feel like a vacation, and this is always like a pseudo work trip for us, and we're here for such a long time, so we can kind of lose that sensation sometimes, but it's nice to get it back. We have a little bathroom area there. There is a door that separates... How do I move this door? Oh, there's a handle. There you go. That is your privacy bathroom area. Now we're alone in the bathroom, you and I. Hello, there you are. There I am. This is the shower with a nice overhead shower moment, which I always enjoy, as well as a handheld shower option. And we have shower gel, shampoo, and conditioner. Oh, they never give you conditioner in hotels. That's lovely. That is delightful. And I will let you know what the shower is like after one of us has utilized the shower. I forgot this from last time. They're not called faucets, handles. That's the word. Taps. One of the above. Are shaped like little tails. There you go.
Here's a good thing for me to show you, plugs, because this is never necessarily guaranteed. We have USB plug going on there, as well as 2 American plug sockets, and then over here on the other side, oh, here we actually have 2 American plug sockets and a USB, and then 2 USBs in that little clock there as well. So plenty of USB charging things, but if you want to be sure that you can charge all of your devices, and as you might expect, we have a lot of devices to charge. Let me show you a little bit of a travel hack that I've brought with me. Usually, I like to travel with an entire extension lead with USB options in it, because it just makes me feel better. But this time I was trying to pack light, and so left that back in Brooklyn. But what I do have, if I can find it here in my bag, is a particularly nifty international travel adapter. This is what it is here, and it's 2 UK plug sockets, which I've plugged USB plugs into, one of which is a normal USB and the other one is a USB-C there for different types of cables that we have, but also 2 more USBs out the top. I think that started to get bent in travel, but I've managed to work it into an outlet earlier this week, so hopefully this will still be fine. Moment of truth, moment of truth, moment of truth. There we go. Lovely. And so now that doesn't take up too much space, and I can plug in 4 different things. Now you may be wondering, Mickey Jo, what on earth is the point of doing a 2-night hotel stay in the middle of your trip? Did your friend get sick of you? No. What I've been wanting to do with New York, I've fallen down into a comfortable bed, is to show more hotels and New York accommodation options alongside theatre stuff, because we now can recommend loads of stuff. We can talk about restaurants, we can talk about flights to get here and like preferred operators and how to get tickets and shows, and I can now talk to people about so many different aspects because people reach out and send emails and write comments asking for advice about Broadway theatre trips, right? And I can now dispense advice on so many different topics, but we've still only stayed in a small selection of hotels. And Margaritaville, we were barely here. So I, as part of this trip, reached out to a handful of hotels and was like, would love to organise some 2-night stays to experience and sort of like weigh like which, and try and figure out which are the best hotels for Broadway in terms of what you want and what you need on a theatrical trip, and sort of evaluating the pros and cons of each in terms of location and in terms of what pairs well with the theatre. And at this time I don't even know what that necessarily means, but we're going to explore everything that Margaritaville has to offer. So reached out to Margaritaville and they were very kind enough to accommodate us. So it's a gifted hotel stay for a couple of nights on the basis that we are showcasing as much of their provision as we can. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to eat in the restaurant. We're going to try their drinks. I wonder if they have a frozen margarita. My margarita preference is frozen. I assume they have multiple different kinds of margaritas. It's called Margaritaville. And we're going to show you this over the next couple of days as we're coming and going. Proximity is a huge plus here, as is the relaxing vibe, because on a Broadway theatre trip, as we know, if you're trying to pack in a full show schedule and also doing loads of things in the daytime, you're walking a lot, and it's intense and it's exhausting, emotionally and physically exhausting if you're seeing a lot of hard-hitting theatre. And so somewhere that sort of gives you this faux vacation, this slightly odd vibe in the middle of Times Square in Manhattan can actually be very welcome. Aeron is making immediate use of the shower before we go and have dinner in the restaurant this very evening, but I thought I would pan around to show you the size and extent of the room and the view from my face right now. I'm very comfortable. We have ceiling fan. We have large screen. Can I get American television on here? I actually have no idea. Will we even have time to watch anything? These are the questions. We stayed at a hotel in Nottingham recently on our trip to see Dear Evan Hansen there, and I tried to do the collapsing onto the bed test for maximum mattress comfort, and I realised I can't collapse very well onto a bed, so I'm going to hold my arm very rigidly. Oh, well, I did a better job. And it's nice. It's also just so wide. There's so much bed here. These are the daily specials that you can get on different days. Today, it's Thirsty Thursday, so we have buy one, get one free margaritas and boat drinks with purchase of an adult entree. And tomorrow is Fish Friday. There you go, followed by Weekends in Paradise. And who doesn't want that? But also, kids eat free daily
from 11 a.m. to close. One free kids meal per adult entree purchased at regular price, with a couple of asterisks down below that you can pause if you want to read the small print. I haven't brought a child with me to Margaritaville, so I won't bother myself with that. But happy hour, Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., including an $8 house wine and a $9 house margarita. That I find very intriguing. Changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes. I don't know why I said that like I'm the pirate from SpongeBob. The restaurant we're about to eat in, because there are multiple dining locations. This one is lower down, this is on the second floor. And it's the one you can see from street level with like the head of the Statue of Liberty. And you can access it, you don't have to be a hotel guest. Escalator. We are now seated at the restaurant. This is my view out over, is this Broadway or is this 7th? This is 7th Avenue. Okay. But up that way would be Times Square if I could see a little further out. And behind me, I can see the Statue of Liberty. That one. Oh, there she is. Doesn't get old. It's like the end of Miss Congeniality, but without the explosives. I can also see the menu here. We have a lot of starter options and some salads. Kids menu down there. We have some sides. We have our entrees. I'm eyeing the new jerk chicken because of the honey jerk sauce and the sweet potatoes. They're speaking to me on a personal level. We also have burgers, sandwiches, and desserts, and a handful of beverages. But additionally, oh my gosh, there's more. We have some margaritas, moonshine favorites, and frozen concoctions on the back of this menu, as well as boat drinks. These are the boat drinks I've been hearing so much about. Classic cocktails, and beers and wines. There you go. Also shown in a drinks menu over there that has more pictures of all the beverages, and unfortunately, I like about 6 of them. So some choice is going to have to be made here. Successfully ordered, done it, and also I like this table artwork because it plays on the idea of the New York subway, but transposes it to an island location, which is kind of the whole vibe of Margaritaville here, I'll be honest. It's like you are in Manhattan, which is helpful. Oh look, I didn't even notice the Statue of Liberty. She's holding a sort of a galactic margarita. There you go. But yeah, you're in Manhattan, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it. There is a world of difference between the outside and the inside. The cocktails have arrived. Aeron James is currently enjoying the Tranquil Waters, and I got it's 5 o'clock somewhere, I believe. I'm going to try it for you live now. Here we go. Oh, it's very Turtle Bay. How that can have 3 different kinds of alcohol in and not taste that alcoholic is very nice and dangerous. Look at her going over there. I love it. And now food has arrived. This is the jerk chicken with green beans, sweet potato, and the aforementioned honey glazed jerk sauce, whatever that was. I'm very excited about it. Aeron has gone for the gluten-free variant of the Caesar salad. You keep getting Caesar salads in restaurants, and I have kept saying I want one, and I keep not ordering them. And then yours arrives, and I'm like, oh, that looks so good. And I only have myself to blame. My love affair with sweet things and chicken has brought me back to this dish, and I'm not mad about it because those sweet potatoes and everything else look fantastic. Okay, it's on the hour at 7 p.m. and something is happening here with the Statue of Liberty. It's practically a Disneyland show going on right now. With these projections, with the music, there was just atmospheric lighting. Oh no, don't break the glass. Where will the sharks go? Dinner has been consumed and we descend the escalator to Broadway, or to 7th Avenue at least, and then onwards to Broadway. And we are on our way to go see Swept Away, and pre-gaming that, again, we know very little about this show, but pre-gaming it with a rum-based cocktail, I think was very smart of me. I've also changed into my slightly nautical necklace. There you go.
I realised I'd taken my jewellery off and hadn't put it back on.
No, but your hat is giving sailor vibes, if I may say. Now, immediately outside the front door of Margaritaville Times Square, you will find the Times Square neighborhood. And it is just a few streets away from the theatre that we need to get to, which is a little higher up in the Midtown Manhattan Theatre District, but it's all so incredibly walkable. So very walkable. You're immediately upon loads of different shops, loads of restaurants, loads of fast food locations, and the hustle and bustle that is Times Square. The natural background music of which is in fact this Alicia Keys song. Already we are on and crossing 42nd Street, where you'll find Aladdin at the New Amsterdam Theatre. And then as we approach it, that bright, bright glow on the horizon there. Perhaps the more familiar view of Times Square. What struck me when I first arrived is how long it is. They make it look like one sort of central square, really, but it's a long, thin channel of these screens and of activity going on here. It can be quite overstimulating. And much as we appreciate the proximity to Times Square, we will also turn away from it at first opportunity, because as you could probably tell, especially the bit we were approaching, it gets really, really busy. And it's these side streets where you will find the theatre district. So we will happily walk towards and through Schubert Alley over here and visit some of these theatres on 44th and 45th Street. Broadway's theatres actually dimmed their marquee lights this evening as a mark of respect to the late great Dame Maggie Smith. This happened at 6:45 and we were in the middle of our dinner at Margaritaville, which is why we did not get to see, but we were stood outside the National Theatre about a month ago when that theatre dimmed its lights for Dame Maggie Smith, a theatre where she appeared many times. So felt like we'd already had the opportunity to pay our respects there. Sadly, I don't think we'll be in New York when they dim their lights for the late and wonderful Gavin Creel. That's happening in early December. I don't think it's been announced yet when it's happening in the West End, but it is happening. Hopefully we're back in time to see that. It would be a terrible shame if we missed that on both sides of the Atlantic. Junior's restaurant, meanwhile, has decorated for the holiday season. Look at this. That is a garland. I'm going to name her Judy. Wow. Speaking of Aeron's Hadestown sailor hat, it's sort of appropriate because across the street from Hadestown at the Walter Kerr is where you will find our show for this evening at the Longacre Theatre, Swept Away. Currently in previews, but opening very shortly here on Broadway. And we're very excited to see it. Don't know much about the show, but very intrigued. We've been to the Longacre Theatre twice before, both times to see Lempicka the musical earlier this year. This will be our first time seeing a different show in that same theatre. So once you enter the Longacre Theatre, you will find a showcase of the merchandise, but to buy it, you can shop it online with this QR code. Feel free to scan. There you go. Has that worked? But you can also visit the merch booth in the lower lounge. But I'll show you what they have. This is the back of the $75 hoodie. I know it gets dark, but there's always a light. Again, not dissimilar. Lighthouse. We just watched a musical all about a lighthouse on an island in a storm. This feels very similar. We have a cute little crop top there, a cute little bandana there with the same lighthouse imagery and quote. We have the gorgeous show artwork, comparatively simple logo tee for $40. We have this white artwork tee there with Your Heart, My Soul is Bound, also for $40. We have a handful of little postcard type things going on. We have a little, like a sailor's flask mug situation. We have a set of 3 enamel pins. We have a shot glass. We have those vinyl stickers down below. We have a magnet with a torch. We have a standalone pin badge and another magnet there. Moving across, there is more. There is more, people. We have a beanie that says Avett Sailor. This, of course, is the Avett brothers. We have a different hoodie there with grey on the front. Always remember, there was nothing worth sharing like the love that let us share our name. I thought that was a fish on it. It is, in fact, a sword, or a small dagger, at least. We have a baseball cap. We have an Avett Sailor t-shirt. We have an Avett Sailor baseball cap. And we have the tote bag. Has the show started in the time it's taken me to talk through all of that merchandise? As promised, this is the downstairs area where you can get your merchandise. Over there is the merchandise booth. You can also get drinks at the bar. They do have swept away cups. I'll try and show you the specialty cocktails if they have any. Yes, they do. Look at this. They also have a swept away photo point down here, and it's lit well, which we appreciate. Too often they have these things and the lighting is horrible. Aeron James will model for us now. Yay! Okay, the only bar menu I could see listed
standard and premium cocktails, but it didn't show me any examples of those, so something of a mystery. And I would go back and try and find out more in the intermission, except, as Aeron reminds me, there is no intermission. This is a 90-minute, one-act show. The ushers are hard at work helping people find their seats, which they do a very good job of here at every theatre on Broadway. They also hand out your playbills. Make sure to get your complimentary playbill. Everybody gets one. And this is our view of the stage. We're here in the orchestra. We are seated in J1 and 3, which, curiously, odd numbers on the right here at the Long Acre. I'm sure everywhere else it's the other way around, but possibly I'm just losing my mind for an evening. But this is the stage. I've been telling you it's nautical, and between that and the gentleman lying down, possibly sleeping, possibly dead, unconfirmed, at the front of the stage, it is giving what, Aeron James?
Treasure Island.
I was going to say Pirates of the ride Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh no, fully Treasure Island.
You think Treasure Island? Oh, you mean the National Theatre Treasure Island? Oh, okay. I know. I get that reference. I do get that reference. We have come post-show to the Hershey store, where Aeron's making friends with the Reese's Pieces people. And I nearly forgot to get the little free Hershey's milk chocolate mini bar that you get upon entry. Regular viewers of the New York vlogs will know that we are here for Aeron to get his giant Reese's peanut butter cup. I don't know if this is his at this present time or someone else's, but you can see the process, and it's gonna end up looking a little something like that in one of those. In a bag that happens to be the perfect size for playbills, which is why I support him coming back here every single time, because it's handy for me when packing the suitcase to return. Approaching all of the stage doors on 45th, and you are correct, that is a horse. I'll remind you, you can lead a horse to water for elephants, but you can't make it buy tickets. That's forever the favourite joke I've ever made. And a little bit of transit advice: you will not be able to walk down this particular side of the street when you reach the Jacobs after shows very easily, because this is happening post Outsiders. Oh my god, hey.
Hello.
There. Not there. There you go. We are back in Margaritaville.
Yes.
You're wearing your t-shirt from Canada.
I am, from Toronto.
I'm wearing Stereophonic. Best play on Broadway. Back in our room.
Oh, how's California so good though?
At Margaritaville. It's not the only good play on Broadway.
You said best play.
I stand by it. We're back where we have snacks. Aeron has his giant Reese's. I have a piece of cheesecake from Junior's. I got the Devil's Food cheesecake on this occasion. We went to Holdfast with friends coming from a bunch of different shows, from Death Becomes Her, from Swept Away With Us, and from Ragtime.
Yeah.
Everyone chatted about a whole host of different things. Had the nice sweet potato crinkle fries. They were good. Now having dessert, and I'm just gonna move some files around and do some little editing and emailing for the UK people who are waking up in a few hours, which is always stressful to think about. And in the morning, I'm going to reattempt a theatrical challenge by myself. You're not. You're going to stay here. But we were just saying we're very glad we're here for 2 nights, and we're not checking out in the morning. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, because I think then you get to probably appreciate the room.
Yeah. And this is the other thing I have to say about this, is it's not essential to stay in Manhattan, but it does help.
It makes it a lot calmer and relaxed.
I think, because you kind of can go out and then you feel kind of safe just like, I'm just literally going to walk. That you can literally just walk to your room and relax so quickly.
Yeah.
So I think as a tourist, and especially if you've not been to New York before, I've always thought this. I think if you're planning your first trip, I would say 150% stay in in Manhattan, as close to like the Times Broadway district as you can, just because you'll be able to relax on an evening a lot quicker and easier, and you'll be able to find your way around a lot easier.
But also you'll get more sleep.
Yes.
Because we lose a chunk of time getting back after shows. Because we don't leave the bar with friends any earlier. We just they left at the same time we did, but they're heading back and
straight away back.
We're central, and we only get to benefit from that for these 2 nights.
Yes.
But we are going to appreciate it.
Yes.
Anyway, more on that and more on Margaritaville tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Well, good morning from our room here in Margaritaville. This is the morning view I told you I was looking forward to. You can see down onto the street there. In fact, it's the afternoon, actually. But as Aeron has also discovered, that is the edge. We can see over to the edge. That's the viewing platform that juts out over Manhattan. Over there, a lovely skyline view facing downtown. Are you ready to see how insane my hair is? Look at this. Look at this. That's because I've been wearing a hat for the last hour, because I have already been out today. I woke up, emailed the UK, did a little bit of work and things, and then set about trying to recreate or reattempt my challenge to visit every Broadway theatre in an hour, which, even though they are closer together than the West End, is still very challenging. And I assume by the time you're seeing this, that video will have already been posted here on my channel, so you can go find out if I succeeded or not. And if not, you will have to stay tuned, my friends. In any case, I need a shower, because that was a lot. And then Aeron and I are gonna, what do you think, go get some lunch, and then Central Park?
Yeah.
It's a nice day. It's nice in the sun. It's not boiling. I'm very warm because I've just been running between every Broadway theatre for an hour. Shower. Done. Nice shower. Love an overhead shower moment. This one controls the temperature as well as turning it on. I found that out the hard way because I was like, yes, full power, nearly burned myself. Not actually, but it was very warm. And then we then subsequently figured that out. Also, nice amount of towels and sizes of towels. And as mentioned before, shampoo and conditioner and shower gel. We love to see it. Now gonna promptly get ready and then go about our day in Manhattan, which we are very close to, yay for proximity. And just like that, we are where?
I mean, and just like that, it was based in New York, so it was the sequel to the set to the
And just like that, yeah, didn't even think about it. My point was that we are immediately on the streets of Manhattan because of the central location of Margaritaville. I will stop selling this hotel to you, I promise. But my point is, you can stay in Brooklyn, as we do. You can stay further out. You can stay in New Jersey, even. And you will get probably more affordable options. But there is an ease of proximity afforded to you by a Midtown Manhattan, even a Times Square located hotel. And slept last night, couldn't hear anything.
No, that's the thing. If you're on one of those higher floors, you don't hear everything outside. They're really good for soundproof.
Yeah, very quiet, very quiet. And the elevators have been fine. One of the biggest complaints I see about these big skyscraper hotels is that you're waiting ages for the elevator.
It's been fine, actually.
Have not had that problem.
No.
We're out to get something lunchy, and we're returning to festive Bryant Park.
Yeah, Bank of America Winter Village at Bryant Park.
Because had we already had lunch when we came here yesterday?
Yes.
We weren't about eating, but there were so many food places, and so now we've thought to grab a little something savoury, because we both had Reese's and cheesecake for breakfast.
Yeah, big breakfast.
Yeah, we were like, let's go get something savoury, and we remembered how many options there were here. Well, you remembered.
Yeah.
So, gonna come and peruse festive Bryant Park. Let's find out what we feel like today. There were a bunch of world cuisine interesting options as far as I recall, up here by the carousel. We have crepes, including savoury crepes here. We have bubble waffle. I don't know why I struggled to say the word bubble then. Mochi, crumble cookies, Frida's favorites, including tacos, burritos, rice bowls, nachos, tortilla soup, and quesadilla.
We have sandwiches, we have Italian donuts, we have Wisconsin-style cheese curds that do look fascinating. Oh, here's the good stuff. Indian food happening over here at Mystique Masala, Petisco, Brazuca. Well, I don't even know what these options are. Oh, those look good. Oh, Brazilian chicken croquette. Nice, nice. Oh, and the cheese bread. They have the pão de queijo cheese bread from Brazil. I tried that when I went to Brazil. Big line at the German bratwurst stall. I'll let you decide for yourselves if it's because it's the most obviously festive option for the winter wonderland we find ourselves in, or is it because of the enduring impact of brat summer for a German chicken brat? I'm just saying they should make this whole booth like neon lime green. So we did in fact decide to go for Petisco Brazuca, which you said is based in Brooklyn?
Yeah, and it's New York's first Brazilian snack shop.
Wow! And so I got 2 of the chicken empanadas here with a sweet chili sauce, and Aeron has got the inherently gluten-free cheese bread,
aka pão de queijo.
pão de queijo, which we made recently in the UK. I discovered these on my trip to Brazil to go see Brazilian Wicked in Sao Paulo, and so many of you told me about them in the comments what they were, so now we know. Thank you, everybody, and shout out to any Brazilians who might be watching this vlog. Well, Brazilian lunch snacks, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Very good.
Very nice, very good. And a good size, which is hard to find in New York, because you can so easily go too big on lunch and then not be able to manage dinner. And because the portion sizes are that little bit bigger, if you're eating out in Manhattan, that is a 2-meal day, I think. You can either do breakfast and dinner, or you could do lunch and a late dinner. But don't anticipate eating out for 3 meals a day, necessarily. Unless you're having, like, if you don't go to like dinery places, or if you go to restaurants, then you could get smaller portions of things, but just be mindful. I suggested we walk up 5th Avenue rather than 6th, which is a bit beyond the theatre district, so somewhere we don't often come, because I thought it would be quieter, and I forgot 5th Avenue is shopping. And so that's busy for different reasons, and I can see, oh, massive crowds ahead. I've made questionable decisions here. We have ventured into a Barnes & Noble, and look at this, signed by Issa Davis and Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's the Warriors. I've been so obsessed with the Warriors. Clap your hands if you're ready to meet the Warriors. We found the Broadway section of the vinyls. Oh my gosh, Aeron, that's London Young Frankenstein.
Since traveling, Leslie Joseph.
Wow, what a find. A lot of walking has happened today. We're on 84th Street. I just ducked for a bird. We're on 84th Street. We've spent our afternoon walking up the east side of Manhattan, I guess, looking for Wicked merchandise in various different stores. We've been to Starbucks, we've been to Barnes & Noble, we've been to H&M, I went inside of a shoe store, and just been to Levan, you tell me. I think Kingpin said Levain on
maybe.
Echo.
Maybe, because I felt like British people would say Levan.
Because it's a bakery, I think French, and so I think Levain. But it just got 2 sort of like puddly stuffed New York style cookies, which I enjoy very much. Like, I love a Schmackery's. I also enjoy these ones. I'm not going to eat them now because we have a dinner reservation just after 5 p.m. at Friedman's, where we will both be enjoying singing servers courtesy of Gale's Broadway Rose with some friends. We're now heading over to William Greenberg Desserts, where Aeron makes a point to go and pick up his usual gluten-free black and white cookies, the delicacy of New York. Cookies secured, we are heading back down through Central Park, having walked up here via the mean streets of the east side. This is the Met, aka the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which we still, unbelievably, windy, excuse me. That was sudden. Unbelievably, in 5 trips to New York now, 6 trips to New York, we have not once visited any of its museums outside of the Museum of Broadway, which is not so much a museum, and certainly none of the remarkable, huge, brilliant museums that we've been encouraged to visit. And I know that we should have. And on a trip that's 2.5 weeks long, we have very few excuses. It's just not something, it's just not what we do for culture. We do get an extraordinary amount of culture. Like, we're not here just doing tourist stuff. we see a lot of theatre, which is our culture, and so in the daytime, that's not necessarily what we turn to. I maintain at some point, well, I'm also not a big museum person in and of myself. I don't know about you, Aeron James.
I am. I've done tons and tons of museums.
Well, fine, throw me under the bus. That bus right there.
No, the thing is I am, but like, it's more, I think, like, if there's an exhibition or specific things that you want to see.
Sure.
Like, I don't know, I think because there's so many here, and there's so many that, like, are, like, the New York equivalent to the UK's.
Also that, like, yeah, I've done the natural history, and I've done portrait gallery.
I've done the V&A and stuff. So,
I've done some in Paris.
So, like, I think that's more my thing, is, like the specific things that are there that I've just never really known anything that's, like, specifically. And the thing is, like, we look for museum stuff that's, like, theatre adjacent.
True. Like, the painting from Sunday the Park with George is in Chicago, I believe.
Yeah, like, I do that kind of music. I do museums where I knew there was a section, because here all the theatre stuff's is in the Museum of Broadway.
Yeah.
There's not much, like, impetus to go to the other ones, other than, like, me being like, oh, let's go to a natural history museum so it can be a night at a museum.
It's fair. Which is getting turned into a musical. Yes. Fun fact. Central Park now in a slightly different way than we've seen it before, because this is Central Park in fall. And by the late afternoon, early evening light. Get ready for some very beautiful scenes, as well as a much calmer, more tranquil walk than the one that brought us up here. I was hoping for quiet streets. I did not get those. Very emblematic of Central Park in New York is geography like this. Trees, and big rocks. That is just a Central Park thing. I recall Central Park. Oh, blinding. That's better. Central Park in fall. It is very nice with the leaves and everything. And this is a nice temperature, because the last time, was it staggeringly hot the last time we were here?
Yeah, because it was July.
We were suffering, my goodness. Now, because of the vastness of Central Park, you get this thing where it is trees and greenery for miles and miles. Well, not for miles, but for a long way. And then just the skyline around the perimeter, and you can see tall buildings down in Midtown in the distance and on either side. People are boating on the lake. We'll get a better view of that in just a moment. And over at the boathouse, they've got candy cane and festive decorations. Look at that in early to mid-November. There's that better view of the boating people I promised you, with some skyline in the background, and also a goose just right here. Hello, goose. With melancholy busking echoing in the background. Being sung very well, we approach Bethesda Terrace and the iconic fountain, as featured in Angels America, as featured in the film adaptation of The Producers, Stop the World, I Want to Get On! But not featured in Friends. Last time we were here, someone stopped us. Not sure why they stopped us. Maybe we looked like New Yorkers, and asked where the Friends fountain was and how to get there. And we did, in fact, just give them directions to this one, because that was easier than explaining that the Friends fountain never really existed, at least not as a real place. It was on a West Coast lot. But this is one of the most iconic spots in Central Park, which is why you get congregation of people. Engagements happen. There are usually buskers. There are usually people selling things. There are many people taking photos on lovely days like today. We have some spontaneous music and dance happening over in this sort of performance space over here, and people standing to watch. New York, these streets will make you feel brand new. So if you're looking to sidestep the busyness of Times Square that you are seeing right now, and I do recommend that you do, because it can get hectic This isn't even one of the busiest times of year, believe it or not, or one of the busiest times of day. But perhaps you arrived in Midtown at the Times Square 42nd Street subway station and you need to get to a theatre on a higher street. Then what I'm going to show you is the hack for transit. We're turning left onto 44th. In fact, our destination is on 47th this evening, but we're going to get there using breezeways. The first is this one, through the entrance to the Minskoff Theatre. Lion King here on the right. The box office is on street level, but the auditorium for the Lion King, for the Minskoff, you reach via escalators. And the whole entranceway gives us this lovely breezeway. As you can tell, considerably quieter while still heading in the direction that we want to be going in. We're about to do the same thing on the next street. Finally, after that cut through, we head into the entrance to the Hotel Edison. This has entrances on both 46th and 47th, nearby to the Luntfontein behind us, and it's going to bring us out right next to Friedman's restaurant. In fact, because Friedman's is at the bottom of the Hotel Edison, there's an entrance to Friedman's inside this lobby. Anyway, this is Friedman's and Gale's Broadway Rose, where we have singing, musical theatre, servers. This is the menu here, with many different options. Famous pancakes. Look at that, served until 4 p.m. And many options that are either naturally gluten-free or can be prepared gluten-free. I'm going to go for buttermilk fried chicken burger, I think. It's calling to me today. And here it is. Here is my chicken sandwich. You're hearing Aladdin in the background. The herb fries, I have to say, are the star of this dish. They're so good. Aaron's gone for his usual. That is a chicken on a waffle, a cheddar waffle with habanero honey. So good. And gluten-free. To the grill! To the grill! To the grill! Just finished my entree and I was like, I can go for a cookie plate right about now. Where's our waiter? And he is the beautiful voice you're hearing, singing Suddenly Seymour right now. He's on the other side of the bar. He's singing with Alyssa right here. He was about to give it to you.
She's not the one you want! It's me!
Let's get on a chair. perfect time at Gale's Broadway Rose. Can I show you, hold on, we're not seeing this yet, but can I just show you, we love these. Here at Death Becomes Her, because it's holographic, and look, if we move the image, you can't see it brilliantly now, but the image changes. You can see Jen Samard over there, and as we walk past, it changes. Look, pouty face, grumpy face, and also hole in the middle. Anyway, as I was saying before I interrupted myself, wonderful time was had at Gale's Broadway Rose. In fact, maybe my favourite evening ever that has been had at Gale's Broadway Rose, because everything, and not that it's not always so good, but just like an exciting variety of choices. We had Shucked.
Yeah, we had Shucked.
We had a little bit of like your well-known, like
Greatest Showman.
We had Greatest Showman, but we had like gender swap Greatest Showman. We had a bit of your popular Defying Gravity. We had Six. We had Satisfied. There was like the opportunities to get involved. It was fun. It was whimsical. Truly everything you need from that experience. They understand so well what works in that environment, and they do such a good job. And the vocals are insane. The choices, suddenly Seymour with them standing on the poles by the kitchen, and the food. My goodness, how was your food?
It was really good.
Mine was really good. The fries are amazing, and the cookie plate. Oh, I don't even think I showed you the cookie plate. We got a cookie plate. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. The cookies are like crumbly, and it's got ice cream, and you can like scoop up the ice cream with the cookies. A great time. Had a great time. We're exploring the Christmas range, the festive range, I should say, here in the Disney store, and Aaron's got a hat on a hat. Look at his happy little face. Oh. Do you think we should get these onesie pajamas in like matching ones? Should Aaron and I both get these? Genuine question. Also, fur-lined festive Crocs. I'm actually about this life. Now I say festive rather than Christmas because we have Hanukkah merch as well here. Look at this. There's a Hanukkah lounge fly, in fact. Love that. Post Disney store, we emerge from this parking garage to head over to the Belasco Theatre to see a late preview performance of new musical Maybe Happy Ending. One act, no intermission. Its name up in light bulbs at the Belasco. Our second visit to this theatre after seeing How to Dance in Ohio earlier this year, back at the start of this year in fact. As I said, this show is still in previews, but it's opening early next week, maybe Tuesday. I think Tuesday, yes. So today is Friday, so the show is now frozen, which means they will not be implementing further changes, which is great because it means we will see essentially the finished product. And they have just started letting people in. There it is. I do love the light bulbs of the Belasco. Specifically, I think it's gorgeous. Darren, Chris, and Helen J. Shen. I nearly said Darren, Helen, and Chris Shen. That's just slightly misleading, but it's where we will be spending our evening seeing Maybe Happy Ending on Broadway. We're in the line. We are heading towards the theatre for Maybe Happy Ending. I've run out of other things to tell you until we get inside. There's a gorgeous interior to this theatre at the Belasco, actually. Also, it's hella haunted. Forgot to tell you that. Yeah, apologies. Don't get too spooked. Listen, you're not actually walking into the thing. I promise I'll be fine. I will enter with caution. Much respect to all the ghosts. Oh my god, hey ghosts. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. Inside the Belasco, you can find merchandise on the orchestra and balcony, not balcony, mezzanine levels. And here at Helperbot Inc. repair shop, you can see the prices there. I'm hoping those are close enough that you can see them. We have a title tee, a Helperbot tee, a Helperbot crew neck. That's the HB logo you're seeing there. And it's, oh, I see, that little badge tells us what's on the back there of the Helperbot tee for $40. The same logo is on a baseball cap and on a pop socket. That's what that's called. There we go. We've also got magnets as shown there. Oh, somewhere there's a bucket hat. I'm not seeing a bucket hat. Oh, it's over the other side. Oh, I love a bucket hat. Maybe I'm about to buy a bucket hat. They also have a tote bag. Another view of the Helperbot tee. We can just about see the logo t-shirt there as well. They also have a wireless charger. How fun. How novel. Here at the bar we also have some signature cocktails as shown There we have a sort of a peach vodka triple sec cranberry moment, a bourbon cola grenadine. It also has a non-alcoholic version available. It's called a Nat King Cola. I have a lot of time for that. Oops, excuse me, I panned away. And a Firefly Spritz with gin, Sauvignon Blanc, lime, and club soda. And you can get refills at a discounted price, everybody. Update, I did get the bucket hat. You know I love a bucket hat. I think it's lavender. I can't really tell the colour of it in this lighting. And this, we're up in the balcony, is our view of the Belasco. This has been described to me before as looking like a country club, and I see that. I truly do. Truly do. It's gorgeous. It's sort of like classic hotel-esque. Lots of deep browns and reds and all these lighting fixtures and these stained glass moments. This is our view of the set. At some point, this gentleman popped up from the orchestra pit down below. We also have, if we glance over there, a record player. We are technically impartial view. I will let you know what these seats are like in terms of that after the show. It's one act, no intermission, and we are in row A, 20 and 22, and this is the view from my face. Okay, just got out of Maybe Happy Ending. People have been stopping me on the street, telling me about this show. I have been so looking forward to it with my hat on a hat. But at the same time, I was like, don't overhype it, don't build it up too much. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. And by this time, I'll have fully reviewed it on my channel, hopefully, all being well, and you'll have seen that already. Incredible piece of theatre. Small and big and life-affirming and wonderful and quirky and original and charming and cartoonish and honest and sentimental and lovely and quite remarkable. My goodness, just wonderful, utterly wonderful. I told you I would tell you about sightlines. I just about didn't have a problem. I don't feel like I got the most. I had more side issues than anything else. At the start of the show, I worried it was going to be very bad because of the vantage point, because they create these little cutouts. And so if you're above, you're also like missing something through depth as well. But I ended up barely having a problem. And I think Aeron, one seat to my right, I was 3 from the end of the first row in A20. Aeron was in A22, and I think they have had slightly more of an impact. But really not that much, only on a handful of occasions, and only when there were multiple people on stage and you were just missing one of them, and only for a few moments. Briefly, nothing important, so worry not. They use projections very well, they use the space very well. It's a great set design. It's a beautiful show. I'm gonna cry again. Oh my god, hey, hello. When did we last speak? How are you? What have you been up to? I think I was walking back over from the Belasco, having just seen Maybe Happy Ending, crying about it. Let me put this bucket hat back on, because you know what works at Margaritaville is a bucket hat. We went up to the rooftop bar with some of our friends, again, all coming from different shows, from Water of Relevance, from an off-Broadway play, from Ragtime, and had some very nice cocktails. Mm-hmm. And now we're enjoying a complimentary little bottle of Prosecco that was brought to us by the lovely people here at Margaritaville. Very kind, very kind. On our final evening here at the hotel, because we're checking out tomorrow. We're checking out tomorrow afternoon, so it's not like crack of dawn. So we can probably still go out, maybe get rush tickets in the morning. We're not sure what our matinee plans look like. We're going to figure this out.
So at one point, tomorrow daytime, we're going to go to Central Park instead and have a day. And when we did that,
we've done that today. We've done that today. I'm going to pair this with a Levain Bakery cookie over there that I purchased earlier You've got multiple things. Are you going to carry on with your Reese's? Or are you going to
finish it, yeah.
break into the black and white
No,
cookies?
saving those for when we're at Ashley's.
You've got multiple days of excitement to look forward to. I'm enjoying this bucket hat very much. Toasting to our final night here at Margaritaville. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh my god, hey. Good morning. Hello. It is a new day. It is a Saturday. And it is just after 10 a.m. and I am still in bed. I made the decision not to get up and jump in a rush line simply because, and I say this from a position of immense privilege and some lovely recent theatre visits, I have run out of things to go and rush on Broadway that wouldn't have required me to get up at like 5 a.m. And there's qualifying factors to all of those, like Oh Mary is still a formidable rush line as I understand, and Suffs I think is too difficult to see right now after the events of last week. Can't imagine how hard it is for the performers. I would go see maybe Happy Ending again. I loved it so much last night, but I don't know if seeing it twice in a row within 24 hours feels necessary. I sort of don't want to trample immediately over the top of that first experience that I had, like too much of a good thing. I don't know. We're gonna hang out here until our checkout time around midday. I think I might try and get a little bit of work done. Might even then head over to the drama bookshop and do a little bit of work there. And then we're seeing Tammy Faye this evening, so that's fun.
Goodbye, Margaritaville Resort Luxury Guest House and Spa. I can't remember what it's called. Goodbye, Margaritaville Times Square. I was quoting the hills of California. That's what happened there. Goodbye, view. Goodbye, art. Goodbye, sheet that we just figured out has subtle prints of parrots on it. That's little parrots you're seeing there. We have appreciated your vibes. The changes in latitude. This morning at the Drama Bookshop, you can get seasonal and show-themed beverages. We've got an apple cider going on, but also a Grover's Corners grind. It's a promotion alongside the Broadway revival of the play Our Town by Thornton Wilder. And you can also get a healing potion, courtesy of the Off-Broadway show Dungeons & Dragons, the 20-Sided Tavern, which I am a huge fan of. Also, I think, oh, that sounds quite nice. Maybe I would enjoy that. I always assume that I'm not going to like the drinks here because I'm not a coffee person, but that is a hibiscus iced tea with rose syrup, raspberry syrup, and glitter. I like all of those things. I did get the healing potion from the Drama Bookshop. I've never got a Drama Bookshop beverage before. Let's do a live reaction. Oh, it's nice! Oh, you were right about the raspberry. Yay! My hand's going to get frostbite because I've got a cold drink in cold weather. Oh, I need one of those little cardboard sleeves for the opposite reason that people... No, I actually need to put this down. It has taken a turn for the chilly today. The Christmas tree has arrived at Rockefeller Plaza and Manhattan has suddenly gone, oh yeah, it's November, and caught up in terms of temperature. There has been a drop. So I have put on this very subtle pullover that we got at the Big Gay Jamboree Off-Broadway a few nights ago. I say this, the famous Times Square naked cowboy is out in what I can only describe as full force. So, you know, power to that man. I assumed he was seasonal. Our side quest today, and for the past couple days, has been finding as much Wicked merch as we can in the wild in Manhattan. And that has brought us to Macy's. Now, this is not Wicked, but look at this. Look at this. We got some animatronics going on here. Look at this owl. Oh, hello, madam. Very festive here at Macy's on 34th Street. And why shouldn't they be? As featured, of course, in Miracle on 34th Street. And it's that little bit colder today that I'm allowing it to feel festive. That is now acceptable to me because it's chilly. In fact, up on the 8th floor you can find an homage to Miracle on 34th Street here at Macy's. I assume these are usually lit, but they do have these little tableaus from the film, right? It's been a long time since I've seen Miracle on 34th Street, but I remember this one. I remember this bit specifically. Also, I will never cease to be just slightly unnerved by these older escalators
on some of the higher floors. They change back to more modern ones as you descend lower. But like, look what happens to the slats here, how they go into that mechanism. Ugh. Anyway, having successfully failed to find any Wicked merch of any kind here at Macy's, and possibly there is some, but it's just far too vast, and we have places to be, we are now heading back up to 42nd Street to the Todd Haynes Theatre, previously the American Airlines Theatre, operated by Roundabout Theatre Company, to go and see a play, a matinee of a play. The bear from Ralph Lauren is doing a meet and greet, and they were giving away cookies. And we don't have time for either, because we're stuck in this Macy's and we don't know how to get out. We've just been walking around following these exit signs. There are exit signs everywhere. There's those little red things you're seeing.
I realise we're not on the ground floor.
We're not on the ground floor. Yeah, they all point to emergency exits. We're still on 2.
Yeah.
Oh, but 2 is not.
2 is
It's American 2. Yeah, that's an English one. If you didn't know, in the US...
I was on the other side of the list this time.
Okay, in the US they call the ground floor 1. We call it G, and then the first floor would be up a flight of stairs. Americans do 1, 2, we do G, 1, 2, etc. Oh, we have to walk past the popcorn again. It's too buttery. I don't like it. Here we are on 42nd Street, approaching the Todd Haynes Theatre, nay, the American Airlines Theatre. I say nay like formally, not like no. And there it is! There it is. And we're here to see Yellowface, the 2 p.m. performance of David Henry Hwang's Yellowface. So we've just been through bag inspection and had our tickets checked in the entranceway to the Todd Haynes Theatre, and then on your right hand side you will find disabled restrooms and also the merchandise desk. And we can see here we have window cards, aka big posters. We have Roundabout Theatre Company merch as well as merch for Yellowface. There is the show artwork on a t-shirt. You can also buy the play script. You can also buy some very tall mugs, which are 2 for 1. Are those called latte mugs? Aeron will have to tell me. I famously do not drink hot beverages. Over the other side here we have magnets, both for Yellowface and again for Roundabout Theatre Company. We also have a very nice zip-up hoodie going on there that has the Roundabout Theatre Company branding on the sleeve. This is what I like about Broadway hoodies, is that they have multiple little adornments there. We have more Roundabout merch. I see a notebook, I see a drinking receptacle, and I think that's a different Yellowface t-shirt because that one does not have Daniel Day Kim's face on, just the title of the play. Over here at the adjacent bar area we have many snacks, actually, Pringles and cookies and pretzels, but we also have featured cocktails, the face value, the director's note, the stage name, and the bourbon butterfly, as well as the featured mocktail behind the mask. I haven't seen this play yet even, but those are still some of my favourite names thus far, and I also really love this menu screen here. That makes everything much easier to read from a distance, and easier for me to show you as well, which I appreciate. Wasn't going to go for a cocktail this afternoon, but the face value looks quite nice with that vodka, lychee, triple sec, cranberry and lemon, but also the bourbon butterfly is intriguing. We've got bourbon, ginger ale, peach puree, black sesame and honey, and the stage name above, the brown sugar and the tequila and the pineapple and the grenadine. Ooh, catching my attention they are with these cocktails. Downstairs you can also find a lounge area where displayed along the walls various Roundabout Theatre Company Tony Award nominations. There you go. Cabaret, Best Revival of a Musical. Company, Best Revival of a Musical, 1995. 9 in the early 2000s. So good news, play was very good.
Yeah, very good.
Had a good time, thoroughly enjoyed. Self-deprecating and witty,
Yeah.
and disarming
Great
and
performances.
great performances. Loved Kevin Del Aguila so much.
Yeah.
Love him all the time. And Daniel Day Kim was terrific.
Yeah.
The bad news is the play ended and we have gone outside and it's cold.
It's freezing.
It's so cold. So we're going to go and eat some warm food quite early, but we had small brunchy lunches. But a decent gap.
Yeah.
You were saying today this is the season of the one-act show on Broadway.
Yeah, we've had so many one-act, no interval,
Yeah.
raging length or one-acts.
Yeah, so many three-act and just very long shows last season with Stereophonic, with Breath of the French Republic. And this season, this year, this current time, lots of one-acts, and not just plays, but also musicals. Maybe Happy Ending was a one-act, Swept Away was a one-act. So yeah, which consequentially means that 2 p.m. was done by 4, and our evening shows at 8. So plenty of time in the middle. Oh Mary, also a one-act. So on a day like today, it would be a great day to do a 5 p.m. show. Big Gay Jamboree does a 5 p.m., so does Oh Mary. We're here for a longer period of time, so we didn't need to really cram them in like that, but would have been an option. Anyway, gonna go get some food. Although, before we do, I would like to highlight a couple of things about the performance we were just at. One of which is that it was interpreted by a team of interpreters, which was cool. There were multiple people so that you could tell the distinctions. I mean, you could see the play happening behind, but I guess just to ease the clarity in terms of distinctions between different characters in dialogue, which is much of what that play was. And so it's nice to see interpreted performances for those audience members that sort of give a superlative version of that go that additional way in order to really convey the full theatrical experience, which was great to see. And also they had a discussion afterwards, talkback happening afterwards in the theatre as well. We're back at the go-to, I Heart Pizza New York. We come here because they have gluten-free options. What you're seeing here, gluten-free chicken tenders and fries. And the fries are so good. We also shared a pizza. It was on that tray. It's already gone. And the time it took me to get my camera out, we ate that pizza so fast. But I'm about to enjoy some tenders with some honey mustard. And post-dinner, we have returned to Rockefeller Plaza because there has been a very special festive arrival that you can just about see in the darkness. It is an as yet unlit, as yet undecorated tree. It's a big tree. I kind of thought it would be taller, but also it's still, as far as trees go, and really as far as anything goes, other than skyscrapers, it is quite tall. It is reasonably tall. I don't think it's going to be lit in the time that we will be here, but we've never been in New York anywhere near close enough to even see the Christmas tree before, so that's exciting. That's quite nice. Currently, lots of scaffolding going on. But pretty soon, it'll be a nice, pretty Christmas tree. Okay, here's what happened, everybody. We had dinner too soon. We ran out of things to do. It's very busy. It's Saturday night in Times Square. It's cold, and we went to the Hershey store for the free samples. That's not a crime, but it feels like it is. We went to the Disney store because I wanted to get Aeron this new festive fleece. Look at Aeron James in his festive fleece.
It's so comfy. I was so cold until now.
You're warmer now. Yay. Yes. And we're now just standing outside the Palace Theatre. It is still more than an hour before curtain. Probably around half an hour until we can even get into the theatre. But I will show you the marquee. This is Tammy Faye here at the Palace. The thing that says Palace Theatre above it is massive. It is really, really huge. This, of course, has all been recently renovated and refurbished. The Palace Theatre having been lifted up a floor to allow for retail space underneath. No, I'm not kidding. They just lifted the whole thing into the air. Let me cross the street so I can show you the front of this marquee. They're just setting up the security down there in anticipation of audience arrivals. With doors opening within the next 35 minutes, I expect. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little earlier, because I think they actually have a foyer space. Here it is from the front. Directed by Rupert Gold. Now on Broadway. What could it be? What could it be? There we go, it's Tammy Faye. With Olivier Award winner Katie Braeburn. With Tony Award winner Christian Borle. And Tony Award winner Michael Cerveris. Music by Elton John. Lyrics by Jake Shears. With a book by James Graham. There you go, and all the things I just told you. That is the giant Palace Theatre signage. How do we feel about this font? Some among us have mixed feelings about this font. Also, could they have used all of that space up above for a digital screen, not unlike the ones you see over there in Times Square? I mean, that's great advertising if they just had the show. This is still pretty good advertising for Tammy Faye, but if they had that whole screen up there... Oh, this car is leaving. Was it something I said? If they had that whole screen up there, that would really be eye-catching, wouldn't it? It's happening, everybody. It's happening. Up the escalator we go. Up into the clouds. Up, 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 up. To the Palace Theatre. And you and I are about to see together what it looks like. Here it is. As I say, I have nothing to compare it to because I have never been here before. Oh, those are some lighting fixtures. Look at that. Wow. We've got a nice spacious bar. Oh, we've got that new carpet feel, texture-wise. That's nice. That's quite nice. Immediately we have this merchandise kiosk on our left. How dumb am I? I kept seeing these on the doors downstairs and I was like, oh, if. No. That's a T. Font matters, people. Font is important. We have lots of apparel here immediately that I could see. We have a blue Tammy Faye t-shirt and a cream one there that says you're born to shine, you might as well sparkle, Tammy Faye. We also have the window card, the large poster there for $20. We have some mugs. I'll show you a closer version of those mugs momentarily. We have Feel the Love. I think that's a crop top. It's definitely a shorter top. We also have Feel the Love on a baseball cap. Here again, I'll give you a better view of that. We have a pink pullover that says it's Tammy, gosh darn it. We have a tote bag over there. That's a zipped hoodie up the top for your higher price, higher coverage garment options for something a little sturdier in these winter months. As promised then, here is the hat. It says Feel the Love. And on the back, what do we have on the back here? Tammy Faye. What else but Tammy Faye? Down here then, a mug. We have a Feel the Love mug that just... Oh, they're both the same mug? Oh yes, it's a rainbow Tammy Faye Feel the Love mug. Very LGBTQ plus inclusive per Tammy Faye. We then have a Tammy Faye keyring. Then we have a magnet with Tammy Faye Feel the Love on a little television. And we have a single enamel pin down the bottom, or an enamel pin set, as you can see there, for $25. Lots of merchandise. I hope I have given you a comprehensive overview of it there at the merchandise booth. Here at the very spacious bar area, that's what's standing out so far about the Palace, is just how big everything is. They do have some specialty cocktails. I'm waiting for them to come up on the screens at the top, because that makes it a lot easier for me to tell you about them. They do have them on little stands right at each of the server points. We have a PTI, honey whiskey iced tea and lemon juice, the Mai Tais of Tammy Faye, rum, triple sec and pineapple slushy, that's fun, the lipstick and lashes, vodka, cherry liqueur and club soda, the He's Inside Me, He's Inside Me, gin, creme de menthe, cranberry juice and lime juice, and then the premium specialty cocktails, hello, a rhinestone, look now they're up here, a rhinestone 75 even, with Prosecco, raspberry liqueur and club soda, and a Tammy Slay with Prosecco, port wine and sour mix. Aeron and I both think the top two look nice. This is the back of the auditorium. You can get to the restrooms through those doors, down those steps just there. Just want to show you a little bit more of the Palace Theatre here. It's very regal, it's very stylish, it is very blue and cream and mirrors and gold, not especially red. And this is the preset for the stage, very pink, the eyes of Tammy Faye watching us from the curtain there. And this is the orchestra level. Interesting how it's split here, because we have two central blocks and then we have those slightly raised edges, like little loges in the orchestra. We then have a mezzanine and a balcony, and look at the ceiling. Look at the gloriousness of the Palace Theatre. It's a little Grecian. I mean, I don't know enough about architecture to finish that sentence, but it looks beautiful. I'm in F126, I believe. We're in 124 and 126, which is on the aisle to the side there. And this is my view of the stage. Not too shabby. The eyes are watching me. I hope that's not too haunting for you watching wherever you are. Of course, I also have my playbill. There you go. Playbill with all the information about the show and the company and the creatives and people's previous credits. I have eccentric hair going on because I've just taken off my bucket hat. But this is a beverage review for you before the show review, hot off the press. Your thoughts on the beverage, Aeron James?
It's nice. It's like a cold hot toddy.
It is like a cold hot toddy. And Aeron said to me, I will either love it or hate it. And I like it. I like it. Thank goodness it has honey, because I don't know if I would like it if it didn't have honey. But it's very nice. And look at that cup. Look at that. Has to be done.
For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey, thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!